Happy New Year, everyone. Do not worry, I have not joined the Peaky Blinders. I'm just trying to protect you from the glare that shines off my shiny head from the light that's above us. But enough of me. I hope you're all well and excited about the prospect of doing a bit of maths. What we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of this strange situation that we're in to do some of the revision from the topics that have been on class charts for a while now already for you to revise ahead of your upcoming mocks. So today we're going to have a look at ratio, and I have uploaded as well a link for you for a PDF file which has got all the questions we're going to do today. I'm going to go through the odd ones. If you can print out the sheet, or you don't have to print out the sheet, you can just write down off it onto any old paper, into your book or whatever you want to do, and we'll do the odd questions. The even ones you can mark your own work from the answers, which I'll also upload for you. And if you have any questions, then do please feel free to email me with any that you want, and I'll do everything I can to help you out. Okay, so I'll get on with it then and stop nattering on. So since we've got 7 parts there and the same amount is being done with 11 parts, what we really need here is the lowest common denominator of 7 and 11. Because 7 times 11 makes 77, 11 times 7 makes 77, we want to have 77 equal parts instead of 7 or 11. So as it's 2 sevenths along here, if we times by 11, we get 22 there. And if we times 5 by 11, we get 55 there. So we can say AB is 22 to BD being 55. At the same time, we can say we've got 4 parts here, but these parts are being times by 7 because it's only going from 11 up to 77. So 4 sevens are 28 for A to C. So A to C and C to D, that's 28 to, what have we got here? We've got 7, so 7 sevens are 49. So what do we need? We need AB to BC to CD, and we've got AB already, that's 22. We've got CD, that's 49. How do we work out how many are covered in the middle between B and C? Because we know BD, that's 55, and AC, that's 28. But there's an overlap there, isn't there? We just want the bit between B and C there, which isn't very much. How do we do that? Well, we know we've got 77 parts altogether now. So 22 plus whatever BC is, plus 49 is going to equal 77. Well, if I add those together, that gets me 71. So X, the missing bit, must be 6. Hope that made sense. Right, 1 question to go. When I said 1 question to go, I'm afraid I lied. It's actually 2. Anyway, here's 11. Pause the video. Give it a crack. So this is going to be sort of similar in a way. We've got Andy and Bruce being 9 to 4. We've got Carla and David share the same number of sweets, and they get it in the ratio 5 to 2. So 9 to 4 is sharing out the same amount as 5 to 2. Well, 9 to 4 is 13 parts, 5 to 2 is 5 plus 2 is 7 parts, but they're representing the same amount. We're going to do a very similar trick to what we did before. If we need the lowest common denominator. Now these two are both prime numbers, so we're going to have to times 13 by 7 and 7 by 13. 7 times 13, 10 plus 20, 70 plus 21 is 91. So we're going to have 91 parts all together. So Andy is going to equal 9 times the 7, which is 63. Bruce is going to be 4 times the 7, which is 28. Carla is going to have 5, but this is times by 13, which is 65. And David is going to have 2 times 13, which is 26, which means we get 63 to 28 to 65 to 26. And although those are both even, these aren't, there's not going to be anything which goes into all of those. And now we do just have one question left, which is question 13. Glenn and Harper sharing money in 5 to 2. India and Jade 4 to 7. It's going to be very similar. Pause the video, give it a go. So it's the same amount of money again, and all we need to do is the same thing. So 5 to 2 is 7 parts, or 7 shares. 4 to 7 is 11 parts. So the 5 to 2 we need to multiply by 11. The 4 to 7 we need to multiply by 7. So if I times 5 by 11 I get 55, 2 by 11 I get 22. If I times 4 by Glenn has got 4 times 7, which is 28, and Harper's got 7 times 7, which is 49. So I put G and H, I and J. So G to H to I to J is going to be 55 to 22 to 28 to 49. And I should really pop that on the dotted line down there, although it would be fine the way it was. Alright, so if you haven't spent an hour already, then go through and do the even questions, or you might want to put that to one side and do it as part of your revision in a week's time or in a few days' time or something. That's often a better way than just doing it all in one go. It'll stick in your mind better that way. Okay folks, see you next time. Goodbye. Right, here's question 1. Now if you have printed off the sheet that I gave you with the questions, you'll see that you won't have quite as much space as I've got. So if you want to write it on something else, then please do. So right, have a go at the question, pause the video, and then see whether or not you get the same answer. There's many ways of doing these things, by the way, so if your method is different to mine but you get to the right answer, that's just as fine. But it is important to show your working. So we know that dogs to cats is 5 to 3, and fish to dogs, I'm going to put fish to dogs just like that, so that the dogs and the fish are is 6 to 1. Now in order to be able to have the ratio of cats to fish or fish to cats, we need to have the dogs at the same bit. Now 1 times 5 makes 5, so I'm going to multiply both of these bits by 5 to get 30 to 5, because then we could say fish to dogs to cats is 30 fish to 5 dogs, and we know that 5 dogs means 3 cats. Now they want cats to fish, so you always have to do it in the order that it says. So cats comes first to fish. So cats was 3 to 30 for fish. Now I've still only got 1 mark out of 2 because we can simplify this ratio. If every 3 cats makes 30 fish, well, each cat is worth 10 fish because we can divide both by that same number. So that gets us 1 to 10. So 1 to 10 is our final answer. Okay, here's question 3. Pause the video, have a go, and then see if you agree with me. So we need to know how much Alfie gets. We know Alfie, Bertie and Charlie are sharing £66 all together. So A to B to C is 66, but we know that Alfie to Bertie is 9 to 5, and Bertie to Charlie is 2 to 1. Now, a slight problem here, 2 doesn't go into 5, so I suppose I could multiply by 2.5, but what we're going to need to do is go to the first number they both go into. So 2 5s are 10, aren't they? So I could times this side here by 5 to get 10 to 1, and this side here by 2, because 5 2s also make 10, and that gets me A to B to C being 18 to 10, that number there being the same for the 10, to 1. Now, they are sharing out the 66, and we have got 18 plus 10 plus 1 making 29. What am I talking about? Why have I still got a 1 there? That should be a 5, shouldn't it? 1 times 5 is 5. We've got a 5 there, and that makes a bit more sense because 18 plus 10 plus 5 makes 33 shares, and we have got to divide our £66 by that. So 66 divided by 33 equals £2 per share. And Alfie gets 18 shares. So Alfie has 18 shares. So every share is worth £2. So 18 times 2 is £36. Now you might have done that a neater way, in which case, well done you. Here we go with question 5. So write it down, have a go. And when you've done that, unpause the video and see if you agree with me. So we've just got to get it in the ratio A to B to C, like we did before. The only difference here is we no longer have any context. We don't know what it's really about. In terms of the numbers, they're just numbers. So if A to B is 3 to 7, and A to C is 4 to 3. Well, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky here and go C to A, because I want to get that. No, is that less confusing? Call that 3 to 4. Either way, these have got to equal the same number. Now 3 4s are 12, that's the lowest common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this part here by 3 to get me 9 to 12, and this part here, both sides by 4 to get me 12 to 28. So now my A's are the same, and I can say A to B to C. A is going to be 12, B is going to be 28, and C is going to be 9. Is it in its simplest form? Well, 3 goes into 9 and 12, 4 goes into 12 and 28, but 4 doesn't go into 28. Sorry, 3 doesn't go into 28. So it is in its simplest form, so you can just leave it as 12 to 28 to 9. Here's question 7, so pause the video and give this one a crack. So red to blue to green is what we've got. And we've got red to not red is 2 to 3. So that is 2 to 3 covering all of those, isn't it? The ratio of green sweets to not green is 6 to 19, or I could put that as 19 to 6, couldn't I? Work out the ratio of red sweets to blue sweets to green sweets. Right. Well, what are we going to do here then? Time to scratch our heads a little bit, isn't it? Altogether, we've got 5 shares here, haven't we? And here, we've got 25 shares. So we've got 5 times as many shares here as we did there. I wonder if we can use that. Can we just times everything here by, could we say red to not red is 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15. Now, if that's true, when we've got 25 shares, 6 of them are meant to be green. So I could say red to blue to green is 10. Have 6 for there. The not green adds up to 19, so blue must be 9. You might want to pause that and go back and follow that through again, but it's all about having shares adding up and things going into each other, because whatever happens, however many shares you've got, each one is worth the same as any other within its route, and it's keeping the proportion together. So our final answer, red to blue to green, is 10 to 9 to 6. Okay, here's question 9. Jot this one down, have a go, pause the video, and then see if you get something along the lines of me. A, B, C and D lie in order and on a straight line. And A to B and B to D is 2 to 5. So we've got A to B. If that's 2, let's draw it out. And then B to D is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got A there, we've got B there, we've got D there. We've got A to C being 4 to 7. So in that case, and A to C and C to D being 4 to 7. So we're still going to have our D in the same place and our A in the same place, but this time instead of having 7 parts in there, we're going to have 11. Now that might be a little tricky to jot up, but it's going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, eek, 10. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh great, so we go along 4, so we know that our C is going to come about there.